The last GDP report showed that the real estate portion of the economy in Canada is quickly unraveling, and we're going to get into how many jobs might be at risk because of that. And what is also going on in the Canadian depression that is now forming. So Shazzy put this on X, another story here from somebody who came to Canada, thought it was the land of opportunity, and now feels like they were told a complete lie. So land of opportunity harvested my tears, 14 months to land a dead-end job, then a year of silence. So let's read through this real quick. I used to dream about coming to Canada. I cried and prayed. I held on to hope when things didn't go my way. And when I finally got my break and was able to move here with my family, it felt like everything was falling into place. But reality hit differently. It took me 14 months to land my first job. The role had room for growth. Eventually, it was eliminated, and I've now been unemployed for almost a year. I'm highly qualified. I know I'm good at what I do, but no one seems willing to give me a shot. So doesn't that kind of tell you what's going on in the Canadian depression? Doesn't that kind of show you what is going on when it really comes to the job market in Canada? Because we are told different things time and time again. And when you look at how fast the private sector is growing compared to the public sector, when you look in the difference of wage growth in the private sector compared to the public sector, it's unbelievable. And that skews the overall numbers massively. So it's just another story of the Canadian dream turned into a Canadian nightmare, essentially. And then Shazzy is just showing more of this real estate collapse. So this house, 1.5 million, and it's now going for 875,000, nearly half price. So it is really just showing you how more and more people are bleeding, how there was just an overinvestment into housing. But as the housing market worsens, as we're going to get into, how many jobs are really at risk? And that is the point here. And we've also got economic factors that are going to screw over other areas of the economy as well. So we'll get into that. And then economic woes put on X about what's going on in the housing market. I'm guessing this is Toronto or Mississauga. Basically, you've got prices that are down. You can see across the board here, year over year, and this is for April. So it just goes to show what is really going on there. And basically, you've got sales in the 416 of 728, and this is for the 416 and the 905. But you've got condo prices down the most, followed by detached, followed by semi-detached, followed by townhouses. So it's really affecting all segments of the market. There's more jobs that are going to be cut at GM's Oshawa plant, so another 700 jobs that are now at stake. And the economy is really starting to grind to a halt in terms of manufacturing, because when your biggest trading partner makes it unprofitable for you to send goods there, what do? And a lot of firms are still in shock because of this, and shelves are going to be empty in just a few short months. And it's going to be because of these tariffs, because Canada will be massively affected because it is joined at the hip to the United States, whether people want to hear that or not. It is just the bitter truth. And then Canadian GDP contracts, real estate posts largest drop since 2022. So we'll get into that. So also you saw oil and gas, a sharp pullback. So mining, quarrying, and oil and gas extraction provided the largest downward pressure. The industry slipped 2.5% in February, mostly just rolling back the breakneck gains from a month prior. The declines were broad across the category, with oil and gas minus 2.8% and oil sands extraction minus 3.8% applying most of that pressure. And we'll get onto the oil and gas in a second, because it is incredibly interesting with how oil prices have been tanking here and how that's going to affect jobs as well. And then you've got the real estate industry. So construction was down 0.5%, second largest downward pressure in the February GDP data. Its decline was driven primarily by weakening residential construction minus 0.9%. Non-residential remained in growth territory, with public and industrial construction expanding. Public construction. Very interesting. So let's go over and see where Western Canadian Select is. So currently, Western Canadian Select oil here is at $44 a barrel, roughly $44, $45 a barrel. I basically asked ChatGPT whether it would be profitable to produce oil at that level, and it basically just said that it's around the break-even range in terms of producing oil. So obviously, this could weigh on jobs a lot. If oil prices continue to go down, this could really impact Alberta with a lot of job losses because it will just simply be unprofitable to produce at the low prices, and you're already nearly there. So that's something we really need to think about. And then natural resources jobs, they didn't really change year over year. They were pretty much scratch. But if you look at finance, insurance, and real estate, and this is as per the latest jobs report, you can see that year over year, the growth was 3.9%. You've got around 55,000 jobs added, and you've got over 1.4 million people employed in this industry. And this industry is dragging down the economy right now like a anchor. So you've just got to think how many people are employed in this industry, how many people are employed in the finance, in the real estate sales aspect, in the construction of homes. How many people are going to get ultimately because this segment is collapsing, and the investment equation doesn't make sense, but it's mostly investors that have been piling into this bubble. It's mostly investors that have been buying all these areas up around the GTA where prices are collapsing right now. And you've also got rents that are declining in most places as well. So again, what is that all going to mean? It's not going to be more investment. And like TD Economics was saying on the other video that I've covered, which says that basically the slowing population is going to equal lower rents. And I've been saying this for a long time. And you can also see a weakening jobs market spells more trouble for the condo market. And they're basically showing the jobs reports compared to last year. And we know a lot of the jobs last year were fake. I mean, they are not real. They're mostly government jobs, with immigration levels being reduced as well and are just going down anyway. That could be happening because of the economic collapse. It certainly looks that way. Then that just means there's less demand for rentals. So you know where this heading. It's not headed into a good place, that is for sure. And unfortunately, what you're going to see is more and more jobs that are going to get lost. You're going to see more and more Canadian dreams that turn into Canadian nightmares. And it's just because the economic reality is coming to hit home hard to those who ignored it over the past 2, 3, 4 years when we've been sounding the alarm here. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video, I would highly recommend that you check out this video here. And if you're looking for a VPN, also want to help out the channel as well and get the best VPN, check out the link in the description. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.